Hello, Chef Beulah here. Dropping off that hot appetizer for you for today. Um, I had the opportunity. I've been following this young man. For a while, and his name is Joshua Giles. Okay, I've been following this young man for a while. I'm gonna put it back up there so that you can see. Okay, I've been following this young man for a while, and and I have his books, and I've been, you know, kind of listening to his words, and he has different things that he put up, and like I said, I've been following him for a while. So it just so happened that he was going to Dallas, Texas. So I was thinking, I was like, wow. I said, wow, that would be great. Like if I could be there, because I was really going through some changes, and I was at the point where it was either going to be a breakdown or a breakthrough. So I said, well, I'm gonna, they post up he posted up that he's gonna do he had just came from, I believe it was somewhere in Georgia, and I said, and that God provoked him to do a pop-up in Dallas. So he posted up all the information, and I looked at the information, and at that time the tickets were, say for instance, $55, and I said, oh, okay. So I kept, thinking, and around that time, it was some other things going on at that time. So I said, oh my goodness gracious, I said, I really want to go to this event. I'm just thinking to myself, I really want to go to this event. And it just so happened, the Lord worked everything out where I was able to, get a ticket and get to this event. And I was a little apprehensive because I was going to the event by myself. I was going to the event by myself, and I was a little apprehensive, but I was like, you know what? I said, I'm going to go. I'm going to go to this event, and I called this young lady, and I asked her. I said, well, I sent her the information, and I was like, I sent her the information, and that was it. That was it. So I was in the process of trying to, figure out all the details, and so maybe a few days later, the young lady reached out, and she said, oh, can I sit with you guys? Because she thought all of us was going. She thought, she thought all of us was going. And she said, "Can I sit with you guys?" She said, "If I get a ticket, can I sit with you guys?" And I said to her, I said, "I'm going by myself." And she was like, "Oh." She said, "Oh." So then she said, "Oh, do you mind?" Like something like, "Do you mind if I come with you?" I said, "Of course, come on." So she said, "If I get a ticket, do you mind if I come with you?" I said, "Sure." So she's looking on, and she happened to be looking and looking, and somebody from the event wasn't able to go. So they transferred their ticket to her. God lined everything up. He lined everything up. It's like he knew exactly what each one of us was standing in the need of. He knew exactly what each of us was standing in the need of. The event was electrifying. The event was electrifying. We got there, we went to go and get in line, and the line, we're thinking like, oh, the line doesn't look that bad. It doesn't look that bad. But once we start walking, to get into the back of the line was like kind of like really, really long. Really long. So we were at the end of the line. We were at the end of, say for instance, one line over here, and then there was another line on the other side. So this was to say for instance, to come into, like, if you come in from this side of it was at the American Airlines arena. So if you come in on this side, say for instance on this side of the building, you would have come in near, say for instance, the side of the stage, or over in that area. And if you come in on the end of the line that we were in, you would have come in near, you would have been sitting, say for instance, in front of the stage. Now the other line on the other side, you would have been sitting on the side of the stage. So we were in line, but at that time, while we were in line, we had no idea of this. We were just in line. So at some point, we met a young lady, and she went and got in the other line because it was shorter, but we had no idea of that. So she was coaxing us, and she was telling us, "Oh, come over and get in this line." So we're looking, and we're looking at one another, and so we said, "Oh, okay." So we went and got in the other line. Now, mind you, it's people that have been there since 9 o'clock in the morning, and some people have been there since like 9 o'clock in the morning. And it was 2 days, so it was Thursday and Friday. It was Thursday and Friday. I think it was Thursday and Friday. Thursday and Friday, or Friday? No, it was Friday and Saturday. It was the 25th and 26th. Okay, so we get in the other line, and we're just kind of talking, amongst ourselves, and trying to get the tickets and everything pulled up on the phones. And so we met up with another lady, and she was she was, having trouble pulling up the getting a ticket on her phone. So, so uh, the young lady that I was with, she helped her. She helped her. She was trying to help her pull up the information on her phone. So as we're doing this, we're trying to make our way. So that they can scan our tickets on our phone, and eventually the doors open, and they're trying to show us how we're gonna need the certain tickets, and it can't be a screenshot. So you're gonna have to have the actual ticket so that they can scan the ticket. We get inside, and it just so happened that we happened to be sitting in the third row. It was general admission. So we happened to get seats in the third row. So we were right on the side of the stage. We were say for instance, the performers, the praise and worship team, and some of the praise and worship team was in the first row, and then maybe say for instance, and from there on it was general admission. So we were in the third row, and it was such an electrifying conference. It was amazing. The building was pulsating. You could feel the presence of the Holy Spirit. You could feel it was the feeling in the atmosphere was pulsating, and it was amazing. It was amazing, and I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to be in the building. And it was at the American Airlines Arena. There's so much to be said about that, because it feels like you're gonna, and it felt like we were gonna take off, and there was a takeoff in the spirit, because we were flying high. We were flying high. It was amazing. If you were in the building, I just had a revelation. You have been places that your feet have never touched. You have been places that your feet have never touched. You have been places that your feet have never touched. once that really sinks in, because you were in the building, and because that there was a takeoff in the spirit, you have been places that your feet had never touched. God is doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing. He's doing a new thing. He's still performing miracles. He's still performing miracles. If you saw that video, if you had a chance to be in the building, if you had the opportunity to, as they're panning back and forth, if you had a chance to watch the video, you could feel the Holy Spirit coming through whatever device you were watching from, however you were receiving the video or the information from that 2-day pop-up. You could feel it. It was in the atmosphere. The atmosphere was charged with electricity. It was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing. And I'm so glad that I had an opportunity to be there. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. It was all access. All access. It was all access. It was amazing. It's like when Joshua came onto the floor, he came over in our area, and he said that he said something along the lines that he said, I feel, he came to our area, and he said it's something along the lines of, I don't know, something about this area over here. He said, I feel billions over here, like billionaires over here. And I turned to the young lady that I was with, and I said to her, I said, he's on our row. He is on our row. Like he is on our row. It just felt so like reassuring to know that God has not forgotten about us, and it just feels so good. It's like sometimes we question this and question that, but just remain faithful and keep on doing what God is telling you to do, and remain faithful, because He hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't forgotten about you. He hasn't forgotten about you. It's not your He knows exactly what He's doing. Just keep on moving and keep on doing what He's telling you to do. And see what happens. See what happens. I'm so excited about what He's doing. I'm so excited about what He's doing. I'm so excited about what He's doing. I'm so excited. And And he keeps showing me that there's going to be revivals. There's going to be revivals. There's going to be um, um, tent meetings. There are going to be, you know, more and more of his glory being shown and being broadcast all over the world. I've been seeing um, tent meetings. I don't know if you know anything about tent meetings, but I just keep seeing tent meetings. I mean, and it's going to be more and more, more and more. And he's not gonna hold back what he's doing. He said he's not gonna hold back. He's unleashing, the things that he wants. He said some of you are going to feel his Holy Ghost fire, and some of you are going to feel his wrath. He said the choice is up to you. The choice is up to you. Yeah. Oh, Jesus. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, God. Ooh. Ooh, Jesus. He wants to know, are you... Ooh, Jesus. He wants to know, are you gonna... Ooh. He said, for those of you who it pertains to, he said, are you going to keep on serving Satan, or are you going to turn from your wicked ways and serve him? Oh, Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Said he wants an answer. Said he wants an answer. He said he wants an answer so he can know what to do. Huh. Said he wants an answer so he can know what to do with you. Said you gotta make a decision. Said you gotta make a decision. Mm, 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 mm. Said the sooner you realize who you are and who you're called to be, the sooner you'll stop craving the ways of the world. You're craving the ways of the world. Like a junkie looking for your next fix. He said you're craving the ways of the world like a junkie looking for your next fixed. Mm, mm, mm. Oh, Jesus. He said he is the antidote. He said he is the antidote. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. Jesus. He said, don't hold back. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. Don't hold back. He said, don't hold back. He said, don't hold back. He said, give them what you own. He said, give them what you own. He said, the price is high. Ooh. He said, give him what you owe him. He said, yes, the price is high because his oil is not cheap. Ooh, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. He said, the price is high because his oil is not cheap. His oil does not come cheap. Oh, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm. Oh, glory to your name, Jesus. Mm-mm. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Oh, glory to your name, Jesus. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Mm. He said, crude oil. Crude oil. Oh, crude oil. He said some of you are running on crude oil. He said your oil haven't been changed in a while, and you're running on crude oil. If you know anything about oil, crude oil is black and sluggish. It's real sluggish. It's real black and thick. He said some of you are running on crude oil. Said you haven't come in for an oil change, you haven't come in for maintenance, you're just running on crude oil, and it's bogging down your system, and you're not running at the at your maximum capacity because of the crude oil. Some of you are standing in crude oil, and the crude oil is coming up from your feet, and you can see the crude oil, and it's slowly taking over you, and it's clogging up your system, the crude oil, and it's getting black and sluggish. So your walk with him is slowing down. He said, but he's coming to give you an oil change today. He's coming to give you an oil change today. Okay? He's coming to give you an oil change today. He's gonna filter out the old oil. He's gonna filter out the crude oil, and he's gonna give you fresh oil. He's gonna give you fresh oil. He's gonna fill you with fresh oil so that you can run on with maximum viscosity. He said you're gonna be able to move like he needs you to move and go when he tells you to go. No more crude oil. The crude oil was taking over you, and you were slowing down and slow and moving real slow in your prayer life and moving real slow in your walk with him. He said, well, he's coming to give you an oil change today. It's time for you to come in for maintenance. It's time for you to come in for an oil change. Ooh, 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 ooh. He said it's time for you to come in for an oil change. Oh, oh, glory to your name, Jesus. It's time for you to come in for an oil change. Oh, Jesus. Yeah. He said it's time for you to come in for an oil change. Ooh, ooh. He said, when is the last time you had an oil change? Ooh, 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 ooh. He said it's even like your vehicle. You got to take your vehicle in ever so often to get an oil change, because if you don't, the vehicle is not going to run properly. It's gonna get bogged down, and it's gonna run slow, and it's not gonna run as good as it can as when you maintain it. Okay, so normally when you go in for oil change, you get the tires rotated at the same time. That way, it has an even wear pattern, and it doesn't constantly wear out. The tires don't get worn out because of the uneven the unevenness of the tires. So when you get your oil change, you get the tires rotated at the same time. So that way, it 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 it's running on an even wear pattern. It all gets the same wear pattern. Oh Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. He said, if you know about vehicle maintenance, then you understand exactly what I'm saying. Some of you may understand, and some of you may not understand. But he said, that's normally how it goes. Oh Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Some of you've been sitting idle. You've been sitting idle, and the car's been sitting for a while. He said, your vehicle, your vessel, you've been sitting idle for a while. And he said, oh Jesus, he said he's coming with the jumper cables to give you a jump start. Okay, he's gonna connect the black wire and the red wire, and he said he's gonna put them on your cables, and he's gonna give you a jump start. Okay, he's coming, and he's gonna start you up. He's gonna start you up. Ooh. And if you've ever needed a jump, you know what I'm talking about. Okay, so your the black cable and the white cable, you have the positive and the negative, and you need a jump start. Your prayer life needs a jump start. Your walk with him needs a jump start. You've been sitting idle, so when you turn the key, you wasn't starting. Said when he asked you to do something, you wasn't starting. When he told you to do something, you hesitated. It hesitated. You know how when you get ready to start the car, and it's been sitting for a while, and it hesitates before it starts. It makes noises before it starts. It click click click, or it's trying to start, but it doesn't start as easy as it does as if you start it up every day. He said that's where some of you are in your walk with him. You're hesitating to start. You're hesitating uh, because of your lack of obedience, because of you're not disciplined. You're not walking with him as closely as you used to walk with him. It was easier to get up and start it up, and it was easier for him to tell you to do something and you would do it. He said, but now you hesitate. He said, now you hesitate. He said, well, he's coming to give you a jump start. Okay. He's connecting the wires, and he's going to give you a jump start. Okay. He said, now this time when he starts you up, he said, don't slow down. He said, you keep on rolling. He said, he'll tell you when it's time for you to slow down. He said, but in the meantime and in between time, you keep on rolling. Okay. He's going to start you up. He's giving you a jump start. He said, you keep on rolling. Yeah. 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 That's what he's doing. That's what he's doing. Said he knows what he's doing. 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 It's time for you to come in for some maintenance. You just been riding and riding and riding and riding. He said it's time for you to come in for some maintenance. You just been driving and driving. You driving the vehicle. This is your vehicle. This is your vessel. This is you. You can look at it as, like, say for instance, the car or the truck or the transportation, the mode of transportation. You are the mode of transportation. Okay, you the vessel. You. He said, you've just been running, running, running. He said, you haven't come in for maintenance. You haven't come in for repair. You haven't come in for oil change. You haven't come in to rotate the tires. You haven't come in to change the windshield wiper blades. So your vision is blurry. You can't see where you're going. You just out here, just out here, just raining all over. And you know what? You don't even know where you're going. You just out here blind. So what are you doing? It's time for you to come in for some maintenance. It's time for you to come in for some maintenance. It's time. Okay? You've just been going, and you haven't come in for some maintenance. Okay? Said it's time. He said, come on. He said, come on. He said, come on in. Come on in for some maintenance. He said he's going to come in. You. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, Jesus. He said, oh, Jesus. He said, when is the last time, when is the last time you went in for a checkup? When is the last time? When is the last time you went in for a checkup? When? When is the last time you went in for a checkup? When is the last time you've come in for maintenance? You got to maintain the vehicle. You have to maintain the vessel. Because if you don't, it's going to break down. You have to get the sludge out. You have to say, for instance, get out and walk. You have to get out and you have to do some form of exercise. You have to maintain the vehicle. You have to maintain the vehicle. If you don't maintain the vehicle, at some point it's not going to start. You're going to need a jump start. You're going to need a push. Sometimes, they may still do it today. I haven't seen it in a while. You know, you would have somebody in the driver's seat, and then you would have like some people behind the vehicle pushing it. Okay, you would have to have the car in, say for instance, neutral or something like that, and you would have somebody steering the car, and there'd be a couple of people in the back of the car pushing the car because it needed to get like a little push so it can get so you can, say for instance, pop it in the gear and then get the car started again. And that's where some of you are. But he's here today. He's here today. So you got to get with the, oh Jesus, you got to get with the eating program. You got to get, you want to get with the eating program. You got to get with, you got to cut out some of the stuff. Got to cut out some of the stuff that you're consuming because it's not being beneficial to your health. It's not being beneficial to your health. Yeah, it's not being beneficial to your health. You gotta mm, mm. Fruits and vegetables. Fruits and vegetables. He said incorporate more fruits and vegetables. Ugh. Add more greens to the smoothies. Add more greens to the smoothies. Juicing. More juicing. Try to choose more healthier options. It's important. Try to choose more healthier options. He said your life depends on it. So to try to choose more healthier options because your life depends on it. Yeah. 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 Mm, 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 mm. Oh Jesus. 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 Oh. Oh. Oh Jesus. I was in a situation. I was in a situation where I was at a get together, and and oh Jesus, and we were in the oh Jesus, um, there were some there were some oh Jesus, there were some Jello shots, and I don't drink. I don't drink anymore, and so but you know there were Jello shots there, and and I don't know. I'm I found myself at some point. I found myself, passing out some Jello shots, and immediately I don't know how many I had passed out. Maybe about maybe about three or four or whatever. So, and the Holy Spirit checked me real quick, and He was like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" And I had to think about what I was doing, and I was like, I stopped passing out the Jello shots because I felt a conviction. Like, what are you doing? I was like, oh my goodness, I don't want to aid in that aid in passing out. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to. No, no, no. And I was like, oh my goodness. And I said, oh Lord, please forgive me. I had to say to myself, Lord, please forgive me. Like if if certain situations, if you're in certain situations, I don't have to actively be passing out. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to actively be passing out Jello shots. I can kind of, drink what I want to drink, juice or whatever the situation may be, but I don't have to actively, you know, participate in that. And I just felt a conviction, and I was like, oh God, and I had to repent for that. Ooh, oh Jesus, these these situations aren't easy to share because you know for whatever reason, but with God it makes it it makes it easier because if you've ever been in that type of situation, then you understand. It's like what He's saying to me. And if they've been in that type of situation, then you understand. Ooh. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, God. Yeah. 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 Mm, mm, mm. And if I've ever, and if um oh Jesus, Oh, Jesus. And I can hear him saying right now, he said it, and, oh, God. You don't know what people are struggling with. You don't know what people are going through. So certain situations, in certain situations, um, you don't know what they've been through. You don't know what they're going through, and you don't know what they're struggling with. So, say for instance, if someone if someone offers you a cigarette, or if someone's offering you, whatever it may be, that's not going to be beneficial to your body. If they're offering you something, a drink or a cigarette, or, you know, drugs, or whatever the situation may be, he said if they're offering you something, and 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 you tell them no, no thank you, or they tell you, if they're offering you something and you say no or no thank you, you know, and they go, oh, come on, here, have some, and you tell them no, no thank you, you know, in some of those situations, the individual might not want to explain to you the fact that they're struggling with with X, Y, and Z, or they don't, you know, they don't partake in that type of activity anymore, or whatever the situation is. But if they tell you no, it's like, I can hear him saying, uh, just respect the no. Just respect their no, because you don't know what they're struggling with. You don't know what their walk is. You don't know how far it took them to get them where they are. So if they say, "Oh, no, no, or no, thank you," then just leave it at that and respect their no. Respect their no. Respect their no. Mm, 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 mm. Ooh, ooh. Mm. See, because you don't know what might be the gateway that's going to lead them down to a path of destruction, or a path of addiction, or a path of relapse, or a path of you know or a path of no return. So you don't know what people are going through. It's a lot going on in the world today, and it's so easy to be derailed. It really, it really, it really, it's so easy to be derailed. So, so, you know, if they tell you no, I don't want a piece of cake, or no, I don't want that cookie, or no, no thank you, I don't want any ice cream. If they tell you no, no, I don't want any soda, or if they tell you, oh, no, I don't want any fried chicken. If they tell you no, maybe they're dealing with high cholesterol, maybe they're dealing with diabetes, and if they tell you no, just respect the no. You don't know what they're dealing with, or what they're struggling with, that they might not want to disclose to you, but just respect their no. Just respect their no. They might not want to disclose their whole medical history to you, but just respect their no. Just respect their no. That's what I'm hearing. They ooh, gosh. Ooh, 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 Jesus. Ooh, Jesus. Ooh, Jesus. Jesus. Oh, Jesus. He said they may not want to tell you that they have diabetes and they only have oh God, oh Jesus, and that they only have ooh, and that they're missing some of their toes or they're missing some of their limbs. Ooh, and they don't want to explain that to you. Just respect their no. If it's there and they pick it up and they choose to partake in that type of situation, then that's on them. Ooh. He said, but if you ask them and they tell you no, just respect their no. Just respect their no. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, Jesus. Oh, Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Oh. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. Said if you can't be a good influence, don't be a bad one. Don't be a bad one. Oh, God. Mm, 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 mm. Jesus. Mm, 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 mm. Glory to your name, Jesus. Oh, God. Mm, 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 mm. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow. Mm, 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 mm. And we thank God for this word. We thank God for what He's doing in our lives right now. We thank God for His hedge of protection. We thank God for everything that He's doing for us. We trust God and we stand on His promises. We stand on His promises. Mm, 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 mm. Oh, God. He said He's massaging your heart. He said He's going to get the blood flowing through there the way it's supposed to be flowing. I can see Him doing this. He said He's massaging your heart. He said He's going to get the blood flowing the way it needs to flow. It's going to reach every cell in your body. So your heart is strong. It's strong. He said it's strong. He said the blood is flowing all through your body. He said no more arrhythmia. He said it's going to be in the right rhythm. No more arrhythmia. It's gonna be in the right rhythm. He said it's gonna beat on time like it's supposed to be. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. Mm, mm, mm. He said he told you to write. He said he told you to write. Write, write, write. He said not wrong, but right. Right, 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 right. He said pick up the pen and get some paper. You can do it on your computer or your tablet. He said, but write, write, write. Write, write, write. The book that's in you is ready to be delivered. Write, write, write. Write. Right, right, right. Mm, mm. Right, right, right. Said some of you forgot who you are. He said some of you forgot who you are, and some of you have yet to discover who you are. And he said the enemy is trying to keep you so distracted that you never discover who you are. He said because if you discover who you are, then you won't do what God is telling you to do. You won't do what he's telling you to do. You'll be going along with the plans of the enemy, and God wants you to go along with his plans. He said once you discover who you are, once you once you discover who you are, and once you really tap into who you are, he said you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. He said you're going to be unstoppable. Once you tap into who you are, who he's called you to be, you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're not going to take any shorts. He said you're not going to take any shorts, any wooden nickels, or loose change. He said he knows what he's doing. Long as the enemy can keep you distracted, the longer you stay out in the wilderness. He said, but once you tap in and discover who you are, he said you're going to be a force to be reckoned with. You're going to be unstoppable. And he's going to use you to glorify the kingdom. Some of you are trying to find your purpose and your why and your trying to figure it out. He said just tap in. Just tap in. He said and hearken your ear so you can hear him. Say, yes, Lord. Your servant is listening. Your servant is listening. And write down what it is he's telling you and put it into action. He said ACTION, action. He said put it into action. Yeah. Mm. He said he is the creator. He created you. He created you to create. You are a creator. And he created you to create. He said, yeah, there's going to be times that you get discouraged. He said, but he created you to create. He said, sometimes you take a reset and then you come back. He oh my God, he does he does stuff like this. He does stuff like this. One morning I was I had my Bible, and I said, oh Lord. And I was like, oh my goodness gracious. Now the Bible was closed. And I said, oh Lord, I said, I had my head on the Bible. And I'm just, I had my head, I was laying down on the floor, and I had my head on the Bible, and I'm just, oh Lord. And I said, I gotta open up the Bible. And I had my head on the Bible, and I said, I'm not gonna be able to get the words with the word with the Bible closed. And our brain is so amazing. God is so amazing. Our brain is so amazing. And he said, how am I going to be able to get the word with the Bible closed? And mind you, I still had my head on the Bible. How am I going to get the word with the Bible closed? And he spoke to me, and he said, I can't get the word with the Bible closed. And he said so clearly, he said, how do you know? Have you ever tried? And I was like, oh wow. So not only is he able to speak to me when I open up the Bible, not only is he able to speak to me when I open up the Bible, but he's also able to speak to me when it's closed. And that may seem strange to some, but it's like the words just leap off of the page. And I understand that most of you might not understand, but that's okay, because it's not for everybody. So, oh God, oh Jesus. He said, so yeah, some of you may have to open up your book, and that's good. He said, but He said, how do you think he used to communicate to you before you had a physical Bible? He said, how was he able to communicate to you then? Before you had a physical Bible, how was he able to communicate with you? He's able to communicate with us if you're willing to listen. He's able to communicate with us. He said some people are, if they get caught, they're in different parts of the world, if they get caught with the Bible, or he said they're being unalived because they're trying to find out, they're trying to read the word, he said, and in some situations he's still able to communicate with you. If you're willing to listen. And he wants you to know that he loves you so much. And that he's not giving up on you. So don't you give up on you. Mm-hmm. Yep. Continue, peace and blessings.